with me is candidate for mayor, Bill Thompson, and we are here talking about the New York City Housing Authority. And you had mentioned something about repairs. And we know that the repairs aren't being done. The mayor's come out with this plan that he's going to do the repairs. They're not doing the repairs. They're just throwing work tickets away. The repairs are not being done. And now he's coming up with this infill project program that he wants to sell off property for the purpose of doing repairs. He's not doing the repairs with the money we have. Who's he fooling?
I know. It is. You called him on this a number of times. And this, the infill proposal, this proposal to do luxury housing on the grounds of housing authority developments, in open space and parking lots and others, is just it's a terrible idea. Not even a bad idea. It's just a terrible idea. We need to, if anything, we need to work with the residents in the housing authority developments. If we're going to do any building and any development, we need to work along with them, and it should be affordable housing. That's the thing that we need to focus on, more affordable housing. There is no shortage of luxury housing in the city of New York, but people working, middle-class people, poor New Yorkers, they're being squeezed out of the city by the high cost of rent, by how difficult it is to be able to find affordable housing in the city of New York. We need to build housing. One of my plans, is to both preserve and create 120,000 new units, or 120,000 units over the next 8 years as mayor. Of those, 70,000 of the units would be new construction, moderate, middle, low-income housing.
The mayor just recently made a comment about fingerprinting NYCHA residents as a way of a crime prevention strategy. Well, why don't we fingerprint people on Fifth Avenue and make sure that they belong in these high-rise apartments?
It's amazing. The mayor continues to just not get it. He just doesn't understand. When you start to talk about something like that, you stigmatize an entire group of people. So what are there, more than 600,000 people in New York City public housing? In one word, or in one sentence or so, one paragraph, he just stigmatized. He just said in one form or another that, all the people in New York City Housing Authority developments somehow are suspects. It's insulting and continues to just be offensive. And I just wonder at a certain point, you want to ask the mayor, what is he thinking? It's the same comments that, weeks before he came out and said that, we probably have stopped too many white people in the city of New York and stop and frisk, and we need to stop more blacks and Hispanics. It was not understanding that, those comments insult people, that those comments are wrong, that they just, not worthy of the mayor of the city of New York. Stop and frisk is a policy in the city of New York that has been misused and abused by the Bloomberg administration, by Ray Kelly as the police commissioner, and it is wrong. It is profile people and stop them because of who they are and what they look like. And that's what the federal court said, that the way that stop and frisk has been done in New York City is unconstitutional. Quotas have been tied to it, a number of different things. It is just wrong. So it is, as I looked at, I was inspired by the president's speech, as he pointed out that, he could have been, years ago, 35 years ago, he could have been Trayvon Martin. He could have been the one who was stopped by someone who had just profiled him because of who he was and what he looked like. This whole situation with Trayvon and George Zimmerman, he was stopped, he was followed because he was black. And it is clear. So we have to be careful as government that doesn't happen, that we don't stop people because of who they are and what they look like. And that's exactly what the federal court said. So the judge, I happen to agree that the way stop and frisk has been used in New York City is unconstitutional. We need to get it right. I've made recommendations in how this needs to be corrected as far as the training that needs to happen, the quotas that need to be eliminated. Individuals should be given, a ticket, an indication of why they were stopped. The officer needs to explain that. So there are a number of things that we have to do, to make sure that stop and frisk is used correctly. So we have to keep New York City safe. And I think everybody wants that. We want to get guns off the streets. At the same point, we don't have to sacrifice our civil liberties, give up our constitutional rights to get that done. We can achieve both. When you look at the last election, all the pundits, all the polls, everybody said Mike Bloomberg couldn't be beat. So some people stayed at home. They didn't come out and vote. Just think of what the city could have been, how the city would have been changed if I would have been the mayor for the last 4 years. So what you saw there, people stayed home the day after the election. They sat there and said, oh goodness, they were so upset because they realized if they would have come out and voted, we could have gone and taken this city in a different direction. This September 10th, everyone needs to come out and vote. Don't stay home. Don't let others make the decision for you. Come out and vote. This election is about the future of New York City. It's about your future.
Our guest was the next mayor of New York City, William C. Thompson, Jr.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you for coming on.
It's a pleasure being here with you. Thanks again.